5 years ago in the Empire of Arcadia, a coup d'etat overthrew a few hundred years of tyrannical rule. The one who achieved this feat was a solitary black machine dragon, whose true identity remains a mystery to this day. Revered and feared by the people, they called this dragon knight the Black Hero, and tales of its heroism spread far and wide throughout the land. The old Empire of Arcadia is now known as the Empire of Atismata. In the Crossfeed city fortress, Lux Arcadia is chasing after a cat that stole a girl's purse. In the midst of the chase, the boy falls through the roof and accidentally ends up in the girl's bathing area. To make matters worse, he lands on top of one of the girls, putting her in a compromised position. With an angry smile, the girl asks him if he has any last words. Pressed for words, he suddenly remembers the sage advice an old man once gave him: always compliment girls. In a stroke of genius, he opens his mouth and lets out the most charming words he can think of: "You're cute and have a youthful figure." As the girls scream, Lux is quickly apprehended and thrown into a prison cellar. Realizing he's in trouble, Lux laments that he has work to do today. Just then, Krolsifer, one of the guards, arrives and takes an interest in Lux's two sword devices. She finds it odd that he's carrying two of them, especially the black one. However, before she can ask him any questions, Chalice interrupts them to inform Lux that he is summoned by the Academy's headmistress. Chalice and another student, Tilfair, accompany Lux to the headmistress' office. Once there, the headmistress welcomes Lux to the Royal Knight Academy. Lux manages to explain the accident, and she understands, recognizing him as the prince of the old Empire of Arcadia. The headmistress lets Lux off easy, since they were the ones who summoned him for a job, and because she knows he's not the type to creep on girls. She explains that the Academy's purpose is to train drag knights to strengthen the kingdom's position against other countries. While the Academy is primarily meant for girls with high amplitude as drag knights, she invites Lux to work there. Everyone's taken aback by this, since it's a girls-only school. The headmistress explains that after the coup d'etat, there are only a few male drag knights left and boys like him are valuable. However, before Lux can respond, the door bursts open with cries of objection from the girl he landed on earlier. She protests, saying she doesn't want a pervert like him working at the school. The headmistress nods, leaving Lux's punishment to Lisha since she's the victim of the incident. Smirking, Lisha challenges Lux to a fight to determine if he's worthy of becoming a drag knight at their academy. The other girls get excited, cheering for Lisha to win. They believe that she can easily defeat Lux, but the headmistress reminds them that Lux won the prize money in the Royal Capital Tournament and remains undefeated to this day, earning him the nickname the weakest undefeated. Lisha scoffs at the idea that a pervert like him is undefeated. She then draws her sword, challenging him to a one-on-one duel with machine dragons. If Lux loses, he will be sent to jail as a criminal, but if he wins, he will be acquitted and may work at the academy. Lisha then provokes Lux by telling everyone to announce to the entire academy that there will be an exhibition of the new kingdom's princess defeating the prince of the old kingdom. She reveals herself as Lisesharte Atismata, the first princess of the new Atismata kingdom, and Lux screams in disbelief. The day of the battle arrives. As Lux and Lisha prepare to face each other, Lisha promises that she'll tell him why she wants to fight him if he wins. Lux prepares for the fight by summoning his wyvern, but he's taken aback when Lisha summons a divine drag ride Tiamat. Lux's generic machine can hardly compare to it. The battle then begins with Lisha firing bullets at Lux, who manages to dodge them. Lisha creates a diversion to hit Lux with a powerful shot, but he shields himself with his sword, which then gets sliced in half. Lux then asks Lisha for a favor, suggesting that if their match ends in a tie like this, they could come to an agreement. He also apologizes once more for what happened at the bath. However, Lisha is only further enraged and declares that she will show Lux the true power of Tiamat. She prepares to unleash a powerful attack called Seven Heads and advises Lux to get rid of his broken-down wyvern and use his black sword device instead. Lux refuses, and Lisha unleashes the attack. Lux manages to dodge it, but she vaporizes the protective barriers with it. Lisha believes that their duel will end in a tie at this rate, so she uses a divine special ability to control gravity and slams Lux to the ground. However, as she is about to finish him off, she loses control of her drag ride. Suddenly, an abyss appears, a monster that should only exist in the ruins. In the midst of the confusion, Lux jumps in front of Lisha to shield her from the creature's attack. As the other students are evacuated, Lux realizes that he can't defeat the abyss alone and turns to Lisha for help. He requests a favor from her, asking her to land and fire the 7 heads at the abyss once he raises his broken sword over his head. Though confused, Lisha agrees to the plan as the safety of everyone is at stake. Lux engages in battle with the abyss, trying to avoid its attacks while searching for an opening to raise his sword. Suddenly, the abyss turns to him with its claws, but Lux raises his sword just in time. Lisha reacts quickly and launches the 7 heads attack, dealing a fatal blow to the monster and instantly killing it. As Lux's wyvern collapses to the ground, Lisha gets off Tiamat and rushes over to check on him. Later, while Lisha takes a bath, she reflects on how Lux purposely left himself open to create an opportunity to defeat the abyss. She realizes that this is the first time a man has tried to help or protect her. Meanwhile, Lux dreams about his past and a conversation he had with someone holding the black sword he now possesses. Lux suddenly wakes up and finds Lisha with a bowl and towel tending to his injuries. Lisha expresses her gratitude that Lux protected her and tells him the real reason she challenged him to the duel is because he saw the symbol symbol of the old empire embedded on her body. While she can't reveal how she obtained the crest, she asks Lux to promise not to tell anyone about it. Lux swears on his sword device that he won't. As she's about to go, she can't help but wonder why Lux is so stubborn about using his black sword device. Lux remains silent, and Lisha realizes that they both have their own secrets. She then informs him he'll join the academy as a Royal Knight Cadet starting tomorrow and asks him to call her by her nickname Lisha, like a classmate would. Unbeknownst to them, Krulsifer was listening to their conversation in secret. The following day, the teacher introduces Lux to the class. The girls excitedly gossip about his recent victory over the gargoyle with the princess. As Lux makes his way to his seat, he catches sight of Philippi, his childhood friend. Since he hasn't obtained his own textbook yet, he requests to share Philippi's, whom he affectionately calls Fichan, triggering a wave of awes from the girls. Meanwhile, Lisha becomes increasingly jealous of their interaction. As class ends, the girls swarm around Lux and request his services as a handyman. A jealous Lisha interrupts, requesting that Lux becomes her exclusive personal assistant. However, their conversation is cut short as Krulsifer arrives and informs them that Lux has been requested for a job by the headmistress, and she needs to borrow him for a little while. Lux thanks Krulsifer for helping him out, but she seems to have her own agenda. She asks him if he's heard of the Black Hero, a drag knight who brought the downfall of the old empire with just one machine. As the hero's identity is still unknown, Krulsifer wants Lux to find him because she has some unfinished business with him. The next morning, Lux awakens from a dream and reaches for what he assumes to be a soft blanket, only to realize it is actually Philippi. This startles him and he questions her presence in his room. Suddenly, Tilfer bursts into the room to wake up Philippi, but quickly retreats upon seeing the two together. She then quickly spreads rumors about the incident throughout the school. Later on, Lux visits the mechanic's workshop to take care of a job request, and he is surprised to see Lisha there. She reveals that she fixed his wyvern because he is now part of the school's chivalric order, a special forces unit consisting of the most elite cadets. Lisha sees potential in Lux and is pleased to welcome him into the team. Seizing the opportunity to spend more time with him, Lisha invites Lux to lunch under the guise of another work order. She explains that it's important for their team to understand each other well. She takes Lux to a nice restaurant, but forgets her wallet, prompting Lux to treat her to some delectable pastries, which makes her heart flutter. Lisha mentions this fluttering sensation to Lux, but the boy is too dense, and he just offers to take her on top of the bell tower to relax. He explains that he knows this place because he had previously cleaned it as a handyman before. Lisha is intrigued by the notion of a handyman prince, and Lux praises her skills as a drag knight, remarking that she is a worthy princess. His words trigger something in Lisha and she turns serious. She asks Lux what it means to be a proper princess. She asks him if he remembers the brand of the old empire that is on her stomach. She reveals that 5 years ago she was captured by the old empire as a hostage for her father, who participated in the coup d'etat. But the coup was carried out without even negotiating. She was abandoned. The brand is the evidence that she was a prisoner of the old empire. She wanted her father to rescue her, to choose her and not the country, but he didn't. When her dad died as the only surviving member of the Atismata family, she became princess of the new kingdom, even though she is not fit for the position. Later that night, Lux is haunted by a vision of his past where he witnessed his brother Fugil commit a massacre in the castle. Filled with despair and confusion, Lux questions his brother's actions, wondering why he killed so many when the plan was to minimize casualties. Fugil coldly tells Lux that he will never be a king because he is the weakest. Lux is left shattered and traumatized by this encounter. Lux wakes up to the sound of a bell ringing, signaling the discovery of another abyss creature wandering the fortress. As a member of the chivalric order, Lisha and her squadron rush to help the drag knights protect the kingdom. Lux becomes suspicious of the increasing frequency of abyss appearances. As the squadron reaches the slimy monster, they prepare to attack in unison, but are suddenly interrupted by a whistling sound. The monster suddenly explodes, and out of it emerges a group of gargoyles led by Regreed Forrest, captain of the guard of the Arcadian Empire chivalric order. With another whistling sound, he commands the gargoyles to attack aggressively. Nakuno rushes to their base, calling for backup. Despite piloting an ordinary wyvern, Lux immediately volunteers to help. Meanwhile, Lisha fights bravely against the abyss, but all of her comrades are injured, and they are forced to retreat. Despite the setback, Lisha is determined to pursue Regreed, knowing that the whistle is likely the key to controlling the abyss. However, she soon finds herself overwhelmed by the old empire's rebel army, and despair sets in as she realizes that she cannot fulfill her duties as a princess and protect her kingdom, no matter how hard she tries. Ragreed's cruel laughter echoes as he tears Lisha's clothes, revealing the crest on her stomach, reminding her that he placed it there himself. Memories of the past flood Lisha's mind, and she lashes out in anger, hurling her sword at him and cutting his cheek. In a fit of rage, Ragreed prepares to deliver a final blow, but Lux arrives just in time to stop him. Lux reassures Lisha that he understands her struggle, as he too has failed to protect those he cares about in the past. Driven by his desire to see her recognized as the rightful princess of the new kingdom, he swears to stand by her side and help her. Lux dismisses his wyvern and draws his black sword device, summoning the legendary dragon Bahamut. Ragreed is stunned to see the black hero standing before him and watches in disbelief as Lux unleashes a devastating attack that vaporizes every gargoyle in the air. Ragreed, infuriated by Lux's treachery, charges at him recklessly, ignoring the danger. However, Lux is unfazed and uses the full extent of his power to obliterate Ragreed, turning him into nothing more than a fiery explosion in the sky. The following day, Lux is greeted by a surprise party thrown by the students of the academy, celebrating his enrollment and the victory against the rebels. Amidst the cheers and festivities, some students are still cautious of Lux, but for the most part, everyone is celebrating his victory. Kralsifer, as always, watches from the sidelines, observing everything. The headmistress acknowledges that the timing is not ideal given Lux's recent workload, but reveals that they have decided to hold a competition for him. She hands him a special request form, explaining that whoever holds it for an entire week will have exclusive possession of Lux for that week. The headmistress challenges the young ladies to take the form from Lux within the 1-hour time limit for the game. Poor Lux doesn't have a saying in this and can only scream as he runs away from the girls that are chasing behind him. In an attempt to hide from the girls chasing him, Lux seeks refuge inside the repair workshop. Lisha is there and notices that Lux looks troubled. She offers to let him stay there and hide for a while. She then asks for some necessary details about Bahamut for research purposes, but it turns out to be a trick to catch him for herself. Lux sighs in defeat and asks her to put him down to give her the request form. However, two can play this game of trickery, and so as soon as she puts him down, he bolts for the door. Lux finds a hiding spot in some bushes, but Philippi finds him soon after. She explains that her sister, the headmistress, promised her cake if she caught Lux, which is all the motivation she needs. Philippi then holds Lux until he can't move, excited to eat cake with him. However, when the request form falls out of Lux's coat and Philippi reaches to grab it, he makes a run for it, promising to eat cake with her another time. With only 10 minutes left, Lux finds the perfect hiding spot in the girls' changing room despite the obvious risks. Just then, some girls enter the room and Lux realizes he's in big trouble. They talk about their failed attempts to catch Lux, but they have to do a test ride as the dragons are repaired. As the girls change, they joke about how Lux might be peeping on them, unaware that he's hidden behind the boxes. While they search for the drag ride manual, Kralsifer grabs the book and notices Lux crouching in the corner. As they lock eyes, Lux knows he's caught, but Kralsifer tells her classmates that she will skip training for today as she remembered she has something to do. As soon as the others leave, Kralsifer tells Lux that he can come out of his hiding spot. She then points out that the game has ended 5 minutes ago and there's no need for Lux to hide anymore. Lux sighs in relief and Kralsifer asks to see the request form. Lux hands her the contract, and just then, the bell rings, signaling the end of the game. Time's up, Kralsifer says with a smirk. Now I'll have you doing what I want for a week. It appears that Kralsifer tricked Lux by adjusting the hands of the clock, making Lux believe that the game was over. She whispers in his ear that for the next 7 days, she wants Lux to be her boyfriend. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe for more videos like this.